What's up, guys? How are you? Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of According to Sacha Podcast. You know that we're here with you on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and always have a fascinating guest on each time, right? So, this is our second episode of the sixth season, you guys. We've been here 6 seasons. And I just want to say it's been an amazing time. And I thank you so much for everyone's support. And while we're talking about support, I want you to go ahead and follow, and share all of our platforms. They're scrolling down the bottom. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or X, as we now have to say, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and we're on Instagram. Hey, IG. What's up, guys, over there? This season, we're now on Instagram. So we are extending our audience, which I'm so excited about. And if you're on WhatsApp, we do have a WhatsApp channel. It's According to Sacha Podcast channel on WhatsApp. Yes, WhatsApp do have channels, you guys, and we're on it. So if you're overseas, if you're always on WhatsApp for whatever the reason, definitely follow our channel, and we'll have our episodes there as well. And tonight, I have our special guest, Raquel Herring. She is a recording artist, an actress, author, entrepreneur, and we're going to get into some things. Some fascinating projects she's been in and been a part of throughout her tenure or her years of acting, and now she has some amazing books and other things that's out, and we're going to talk about it as soon as we bring her on. But first, before we go, I want to tell you about some wonderful things that I'm a part of. I haven't been with you guys for a while. It seemed like forever, and a lot has been going on since the last episode of our last season and this season. And so I just want to share some things with you. So definitely, if you're following me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, I have a whole lot of great things happening, and I'm doing wonderful things. I have a new publication out called Biz Her Way series on medium.com. Everyone knows about medium.com. It's one of the largest online publication blog sites out there, and there are many great publications like Authority Magazine and some others on that same platform, and we're on it too, and we're fastly growing. So if you would love to be a part of the Biz Her Way series, definitely email me at info@swimgtgroup.com. Or we also have something for the men. I know that's for the ladies, that's for the ladies, but we also have something for the men, and it's called Mogul Maker. So that will be out. It'll be out soon. I suppose they had it out last month, but we're going to have it out for April, starting in April. And fellas, we're celebrating you guys too. So if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, athlete, author, speaker, whatever you're doing, and it's a business, right? My saying is the foundation of every industry is business. So no matter what you're doing, it is business, whether you're a creative, you're an athlete, and you're a business owner, whether you have product-based or service-based business, is all business, right? So you have a place in that magazine. So definitely reach out to me on that part. And so I have some amazing things. I have a collection of GPTs, you guys. So yes, I'm in this AI world as well. And I have some GPTs, and been able to help others launch their podcast and going forward with a whole lot of other things. So if you want to know more about my GPTs, definitely hit me up, info@swimgtgroup.com. Or if you follow me, just DM me on one of the platforms and we can talk. So I see my guest is here, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to bring her on. Before I do that, I have 2 videos I want to play. One is if you are interested in being a podcast sponsor of the According to Sacha podcast, definitely we have packages, and then we can reach us about that too. And we'll just play a little blurb on it.
Hey, contact us to see how you can promote your products on According to Sacha Podcast.
There you go. According to Sacha Podcast, you can be sponsors, and we'll get your products or services up here and spread it out, extend your audience. That's what we're all about here, okay? And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Raquel Herring after this message. We'll be right back.
Entrepreneurship, small business, is something that everybody would love to do, making their own money. And this is what we will be talking about on According to Sacha.
Hey, Raquel, how are you?
I'm getting ready to say hi. I'm good.
Are you okay over there? You're right.
As soon as I was getting ready to say hi, I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. And it's a pleasure having you on the show tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. Like, I'm so excited about this conversation, and we're just going to go ahead and dig into it. And I want you to tell everyone out there who's watching or listening, because we're on platforms, streaming platforms too, who is Raquel Herring?
Raquel Herring. Man, who am I? I am a Star Search winner from back in the day. You know, that was the voice back in the day, the American Idol. I won like 8 consecutive shows, made history on that show as a teen vocalist. And I won Best Teen Vocalist and Best Teen Performer. Like, I won that whole show. And then I am the first Black girl Mouseketeer on Disney Channel's all new Mickey Mouse Club, right? Because you remember before it was like, well, no blacks on it. And then, I am a singer, an actress, a performer, and that's what I do. And now entrepreneur, and now an author. So, yeah.
Awesome. You're just living the life, that creative life, entrepreneur life, author, everything rolled up in one. You're doing it all. And congratulations on all your success and for your new book that's out.
Yes.
I'm just excited for you as well. And you also have a recording too. You're a recording artist.
I am a recording artist. I was signed with Warner Brothers and Universal Records. So, yeah, I'm a recording artist too.
Oh, wow. Fascinating. So we're going to go ahead and get in. I want people to, throw in your questions, you guys. Let's have a conversation here. Okay. We have a star with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And so we want to, how did you really get into it? So what was it? Like when you were little, did you just always had this dream that you were going to be on the big stage doing something amazing? Or were you like a quiet, shy girl that just so happened to get into it? So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Well, I don't think I was quiet and shy. According to my mom, I kept her busy. She said I was like 5 kids in one. So I always kept her busy and on her toes. But I started because my cousin Trinier heard me sing at my mother's party she was having at her house. Mm-hmm. And when she heard me sing, she was like, oh my gosh, she can sing. So she tells this to my mom, and my mom was like, oh, okay. I mean, she kind of like, I don't know, really. Well, they got together because my cousin was so adamant about that I could sing. Mm-hmm. And she's a singer, and she is like one of they call her the queen of freestyle here in Florida. And so, and she's traveling all over the world. Like, all this stuff is just happening for her right now. So at any rate, let me get back to me. So she was doing a pageant, a contestant in a pageant. And so my mom and her got together to get me on this pageant as a vocalist, as a guest, right? So, yeah, I sung And I Am Telling You by Jennifer Holliday. Okay. And then my mom taught me, all the showmanship and all that stuff. So when I fell to my knees on the part of that song, where you just be like, I don't know what part it was, but I know I went to my knees. And when I did, the audience exploded. They were like, oh my gosh, right? Everybody got so excited. They stood to their feet. So at that point, my mom was like, oh, I think we have something, right? So I sung around Miami because that's where I'm from. I joined the children's Coconut Grove Children's Theater, where we just did a lot of theater pieces, and I had a lot of experience in that. And I sung at different political events. I sung the national anthem for the Hurricanes and the Dolphins. So I did all of that, and then my mom saw. We used to watch Star Search all the time, right? And so she saw where they say, send a tape in to be on the show. So she did, and I got an audition, and man, we were waiting like, please, please. And then they called and said, we want you on the show. And that's how I got started.
Wow, that's amazing. And you know, listening to you talk, and some people, because we have a lot of, you know, other generations watching the show. We have millennials, we have Gen Z and so forth, but they don't know anything about Star Search, Egg McMahon,
Right.
sending in the tape,
Right.
doing those types of things.
Right.
Oh wow! So we're a retro right now, and
Yeah, right, retro. Oh, you about to say vintage.
Well, we keep it with the real one. We're retro.
Look,
Look, I remember I'm right along with you, so we in the same boat.
Right. Yeah. That's you're right, retro.
Yes, we're retro. You know, vintage to me, vintage is like that's the baby boomers. You know, that's.
Oh, okay. Oh,
you know,
you said retro.
Yeah. Yes. We're retro. Yes.
Retro. Yes.
Oh wow, this is amazing. So, you know, one thing I would say, like when you're transitioning from being that child star, you know, in the vocals and everything, and then you go into being a Mouseketeer, like being the first African American woman on Mickey's Clubhouse. Like
Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey Mouse Club. Okay, Mickey Mouse Club. I'm going way back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So how did it feel? Like, how did it resonate with you at that time? Do you ever remember like feeling like the first one and making history in that moment?
Well, no, because like no one ever talked about it. It was like it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't until like I'm going to say about 10 years ago when this DJ said, wow, you were the first African-American Mouseketeer girl on Disney Channel's Mickey Mouse Club. You were like the first Mouseketeer that was a Black girl. And I was like, really? Mm-hmm. They knew, but no one ever said, you know, no one ever made a thing. And I'm like, you know, I was kind of, you know, once he said that to me and I started thinking, I'm like, with all the diversity and the inclusiveness that Disney, you know, wants to, you know, they talk about, why wouldn't you have said that? Like, why wouldn't that have been something? But it was, and he brought it to my attention.
Yeah, wonderful. But now that's something you could carry on now going forward and actually, you know, tagging that, because that is history. That is something that, I mean, how many people watch the show from when it first started up until, you know, anytime, like with you being up there, I think what Justin Timberlake was there and some other people.
Britney Spears, Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, Carrie Russell. Okay, well, first of all, nobody like me has, you know, exploded on the scene. Okay, so let's. So I don't know if that's something. Right? I don't know if something about that, but no one like me has. That's what I know. So.
That's what you're supposed to say on this show here. Like, you bring it. No one like you.
That's right.
Definitely.
So I don't know, but.
But yeah, but thinking about how many people have watched that, and for you to really transition into that or really set the mold, whether, you know, you're the only one that has done that, the only person that was designed to be there to do that, you know, so congratulations on making history. You know,
like 100,000 kids, they said, auditioned for the show, and they were only picking 12. And my mom heard about it. Yeah. And since we're from Miami, you know, she heard about it. We drove to Orlando to audition. And that's, like I said, like 100,000 kids, and they only picked 12. And I was one of them. So praise God for that, you know. Disney did good with that.
Definitely. Definitely. And that's amazing. That's amazing. Because when you think about it from that perspective, which you just mentioned, you know, a lot of times people talk about how your life is designed for you to be in certain places, you know, and how things just happen, or how, you know, the perfect plan comes together, and you see that trajectory going each and every moment. And you're just a living witness of that. And that's part of who you are and your testimony. And so, and it's a great one too, because then that leads you into more projects, stage plays and movies, and so forth. So how would you say, if somebody wants to, if they're watching the show tonight and they want to get into movies or stage plays, like what are some advice that you would give to them?
Well, movies and stage plays, all this is so different now, right? because you can do so many things online. You have social media. So, I mean, how would you do that now? Well, if definitely for stage plays and acting, you definitely have to have your headshots. If you're going to do stage plays, you should know some songs from stage plays, because you'll have to audition for those with those at some point. You should have a monologue on hand. For movies, sometimes they do monologues, but a lot of times they just give you the sides, which the sides are like maybe like 2 or 3 pages from the script, and then they'll give you that to see how you read. So you definitely want to work on your reading, being natural. That's like what it's all about, but natural as whatever that character is, right? So you do that, and you try to get yourself an agent, get your stuff on tape. Tape. We don't do tape. Get your stuff on video so you can submit it and find agents. And like the biggest agents are between New York and California. Those are where your agents and like casting directors, where you're not having agents who are actors too. You know, I realize that on this East Coast, you know, more South, you know, you have agents that are casting directors. They trying to get roles too, and I don't know how it works, but you can't do that in New York and LA. At least one time you couldn't. So, but that's how you start doing that. And then, you know, once you get them, or when there's like things online, find casting directors, the casting directors of the shows you want to be on. Find out who they are. Find them on social media. Try to submit to them. See when they're like doing an open casting, or when they're willing to look at people, because sometimes they do that. If you can get an agent, that would be like the best thing to do. But you still have to do your part as well, because the agents always say, well, we only get 10%, 90% of the work is up to you. So take that, right? And if you can get a manager, that helps too. Whether it's an agent or a manager or both, you want to do that.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And that's key. Managers is definitely key, because it helps you to be diversified. They help to find some things and be your voice.
And that's what the manager does. Like he or she can help you find other, you know, representation, like the agent, and, you know, if you need lawyer and stuff like that, they usually help with that. And definitely be your voice, because I know for me, I think it's always been best when I've had representation. Trying to represent myself, you don't really want to get caught up in doing that. You want to have someone speaking for you on your behalf. Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. Because there are a lot of people out here that's like, you know, they want to cut the middleman out, you know, and it's like some actual, you know, actors that we know of, you know, today, they rather keep the middleman out. They try to handle it. But I feel like a lot of times when you do that, it stagnates you.
Yeah, it does. It works so much better when there's someone else, because when it comes down to the money, even if it's an attorney, I mean, you need to have somebody, because you never want to like have that relationship between casting or the director or whoever else is on the show, like looking for people to bring you on. And when they say, yeah, we want you, you don't want to have that situation between you two when it comes down to the money and terms. You want someone speaking for you, because they can speak more freely than you can, you know.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Good points. And so we're going to go into, because you're so, I wouldn't say multifaceted. You're multidimensional. That's like one of the words out here people say. And you have so many different hats that you wear. You know, we talked about the recording, the actress, and all of that. But let's talk about the entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, let's talk about that, and the author. And you have this new book out.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Falling Up, The Unstoppable Journey of a Tier. And you can get it on Amazon in both digital and hard copy. And I talk about my journey in this business. And from just like we talk about, from when I started to Star Search to the record labels, and I talk about them in more detail, like my experiences with them, the things that occurred, the things that I learned. I talk about after the lights, you know, when nobody's checking for you at all, you know, what that felt like, you know, what happens at that point, you know, because there were some things that, I didn't agree with some things, especially with being with the record label. I'm not into selling sex, but I know you can't sell a hamburger without selling some sex. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I just wasn't, that's not how I was brought up. That's not how I was raised. And I wasn't raised to compromise my integrity for things, or, for what, for being popular. Right.
Right.
So that, that comes with the price, when you do that. But that was my choice. And I talk about that stuff. I talk about being married and not being married, I not being married no more. And so I talk about those things that I experienced, and like that went really crazy. I mean, I always tell people, my gosh, you don't know until you read this story. You're going to be like, oh, what? There's no way that's true. Because I read it and I'm like, I can't believe that. But anyway, and then getting back to the music, because I really wanted to quit music for a long time. But God just wouldn't let me do it. He would not let me do it. Like, I could not get comfortable not doing it. And I tried. Oh my gosh, I would just be like, no, Lord, just let's not even talk if you got to talk about music. And I don't ever want to deal with it again. And then I talk about my feelings of why did I not want to deal with it again? And I did. I got back into music, and my whole album was like Christian music at that point. And and now getting to my book, to writing this and bringing that to fruition. Yeah, those are the things that I talk about. And I really wanted to write this book because I wanted to inspire other people. One, I wanted them to learn. I wanted them to know, like, a real story, not something that's like put in front of the cameras and let's try to pretend, or let's try to create, some underdog stories so people can like you, or, let's just try to create something for some publicity. No, let's tell the truth. Let's tell what really happened and what one goes through when those lights are done. Real life stuff, and still being a part of a business that, it has its ebbs and its flows, right? Yeah. And so I wanted that to serve other people, to give them hope, give them inspiration, and give them knowledge about some things, not just in the business, but themselves. Because that was a big thing for me, being introspective. I had to take a deep dive. I had to look at myself and say, why did you feel this way? So you have to do those things. When you're wrong, you're wrong. You feel you're right. Okay, then you're right. But I really liked, especially in different areas of my life, particularly marriage, gotta figure out, like, well, regardless of what he may have done, you have your own set of stuff. Yeah. And I take responsibility for that, for those things. And it's just, I just really wanted to help other people. Like, if I can take a deep dive, introspective look at myself, we all can, because it's only going to help us be better, help us deal with the things that hurt us and things that make us feel great. You're dealing with life. And we want to live it the best we can, because we don't get one.
That's absolutely true. And you said, you want to live it the best way you can. And being introspective, that's a really big thing. Because sometimes people would just kind of even put that wall up on themselves. Like, oh, no, I can't ever do this. Or I can't ever, they're not the problem or anything like that. Right. But it's always two sides.
That's right.
There's always the two sides to the coin.
That's right.
And when you be able to, like you said, be able to take that deeper look in yourself, that's how you know who you are even the more.
That's how I learned. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And you can learn to embrace those ugly parts just as much as the beautiful parts, but it helps you to be better. It helps you to say, I don't want to be toxic today. I don't want to live. I want to be better. Or I just want to be, you're a good person, but you have to learn how to be balanced, because you don't want people to walk all over you. So it's like so many different sides to it. And those are very valid and great points that you made.
Thank you.
And I love it. And I want to say, if anybody's in the Florida area or who just wants to, take a trip over the weekend and go down to Miami.
Yes.
Coming up this weekend on Saturday, Sip and Nip. Let's tell people about that in case somebody is somewhere near and they want to come, or they're going to travel.
At the Mega Center on the 11th floor. I think it's 5020 Southwest 7th Avenue. I just got the location today. Okay. I've been knowing about this for like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And yeah, I just got the information so I can show up there. I was like, can I at least get to know where I'm supposed to be? But I came down here on faith. I trust Ty Live, and so that's how I was like, I just come on down, and she'll give it to me when she's ready. But yeah, it's going to be really nice. It's not your regular book signing, but I will be there signing books. I'll be there talking about my skincare line, but mostly it's talking about the book, connecting with other people. It's a nice party and entertainment. There's going to be entertainment there. There's going to be food there. I'm imagining that means some drinks there. So, so it's not going to be your regular book signing. It's going to be a nice party, a nice event. I'm excited. I can't wait.
That's wonderful. And people, you can register. I put the website in the chat. You can register at tylivent.com.
TyLive at tylivent.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
at Ty Live. Okay, so I'll make sure I put that in there. All right, and then you can register, and then attend. Okay, they definitely prefer that you register first.
That'd be better.
Your name is on the list. You can't get in to sip and nip. Okay, so you want to be able to sip and nip and have fun, enjoy the meet and greet, enjoy the unique experience that you're going to have there. And so, because I already told her before, I said, I might catch the plane down, I need a weekend. Okay, I could show up like, hey, so, you guys, if you see me go live there, I did it right.
Oh, that's awesome. Let us know what's up.
Yeah, so that's amazing. So in that conversation just then, you mentioned about your beauty care line.
Yeah.
Let's get into that.
Yeah, I started a skincare line called NV Luxury Exclusive. That's the letter N, letter V, Luxury Exclusive. And I started it probably 6 months ago. Okay. And I had been making skincare products for 10 years. And I started making them because, I kind of ran out of options because since I was going through things, I couldn't get the products that I'd like to get. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and then some of them had been discontinued. And then the ones that I could get, they just would work for a moment and then it wouldn't work anymore after a while. So my friend came to my house one day and she had shaved off all her hair, gone. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. She had lost weight and she said, well, I decided to go vegan. I was like, what? What is this vegan business? Because I never knew what that was at the time. And she's like, well, she explained it to me. And then she said, and I make my own products. I want to be natural. I don't want any more chemicals. So she told me what to do, how to go about buying the products and mixing it. She told me what she does. And then she's like, you can do it for whatever you need it for. You just got to research the oils and all that stuff. So I was really interested in that. I was like, man, I can make my own stuff. That sounds amazing. And I know what's in it. I know all the ingredients. It's healthy. It's clean. So I was like, well, let me try this. And I kind of started slow because I wasn't sure. And yeah, I started with body butter and I love it. Everything, I keep it holistic. I kept it clean. And the more I made it, the cleaner, I'd get till I got to organic and just it's vegan anyway, but totally just organic, right? So then I started making it for my hair, and then I started making it for my face because I was like, well, I need something separate for my face than I'm using on my body, definitely my hair. So that's how I started, and then I moved to back to Florida from Los Angeles for years of being in Los Angeles, and I had been using other stuff because I just couldn't make anything. I was like, I'm just not ready to make anything right now. So I started using mostly chemical-laden stuff. Okay. That's all I was using. And I was like, darn, my skin could not get what it needed. And I did that for 6 months. And then I finally made my face oil. And when I looked in the mirror, I was like, whoa, my face just went boof. And then it felt so good, it woke up. And I was like, do I really think I see something? And so it was so funny. I was saying to someone else, I don't hype my stuff up
Right.
So I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I think I saw something. Then my mom comes out of the room and my mom said, oh, I like this. This is really nice. I feel, she started describing her face, how it feels good. And I was like, what? And she said, you should put this out. And I was thinking, maybe I should. But I was in school at the time. So I said, let me start seeing what it takes to do this. So I kind of slowly started pulling all my materials together. And and then I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Like, do it. So I did. And I love it. I love it. I really, really like it. I like making it. I designed the labels. I did all my packaging. I do all the boxes and I package it up like a gift to make it really luxury. But what I learned was the luxury was more about how it was with the ingredients. Like it felt luxurious when I started using it 10 years ago because I wasn't using those chemicals no more to moisturize my skin. And it felt good, So that's how I got started in the Luxury Exclusive. And now I just make stuff now. And I have my website, nvluxuryexclusive.com. And I like it. Like, I really like it. And I'm not bigging it up, right? I really like it. Because people who know me know I don't be bigging my stuff up like that. I got to really like what I did to big it up. And I like it.
I love it. I love it. And see, and that's the biggest part. Like, when you're, whether it's product-based, service-based business, you have to really love and like what you're doing.
Yes.
And I would say also, to take it a step further, for a product-based business, you're having ingredients going in. You know how people say when people cook, they cook with love.
Yes.
And the food always tastes different when somebody cooked with love. So when you're actually pouring your passion into mixing those ingredients and putting it all together, that adds to the luxuriousness of it because, you're giving those happy vibes.
I'm giving myself to this product. I'm making it with my hands. And I like doing it. It's soothing for me to do. And I'm like concentrating on all just making it right, making it what I would want to use for myself. And I use all my stuff. So every time I make a new batch, I use that batch because I want to make sure it's what I want. It's the quality that I can stand behind. So I use it all. I use my face oil every day, my hair stuff. I use it all. And I haven't started the hair stuff yet, but I use my stuff and I make sure I write my recipes down so I can give people what helped me. I want to give it to them.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And you are your biggest advocate. I know a lot of people out here, social media is everything. And we see people put out other testimonials, but especially when you have products, and it's different when you have products because you're able to use it. And in some cases for services, if you're providing a service and you're in a position that you could use your own service too, you are your best testimony and your best advocate. Of course, having people to co-sign it with you and everything, you have to be a part of it as well. And for you being here talking about your products and, you have me like, oh, okay, I got to check out these products now. Like I love natural, skincare and everything. Cause I use olive oil. I don't even use like chemicals or anything like that. But, witch hazel and olive oil. That is my secret.
Well, I did that the other day because I had all my stuff packed up. So I didn't have anything. I was like, I packed up all my stuff. And so I was just like, let me go get a bottle of some avocado oil. I was just putting it everywhere. And I was like, because I can't stand being dry. And I can't stand to feel like my skin is cracking and all this stuff. I don't like that. But and what I like about my oils, I'm not trying to talk about it, but I gotta advocate. What I like about it is it nourishes deep, It's not just no surface and make you feel greasy. It won't do that, but it nourishes deep. And because I like having layers nourished and moisturized, not just the top of my skin. That don't work for me. So I was glad to get my stuff unpacked because I'm like, I need my stuff.
And anybody who's out there who knows about the skin, epidermically and everything like that. When you have a product that does go deep within the layers, that's when is really that nourishment that you're really feeling, is because everything is being touched. It's not like just the topical part of it. It's like, okay, it gets your skin, next thing you know, it's dry. No, it's deep in. So obviously everything you say, look, it's like I almost use the product myself, right? I'm an advocate with you.
Thank you.
But understanding exactly what you're saying. And so you guys go to the website. If you love natural skincare, better yet, if you haven't used natural skincare and it's time for you to transition to it, go to the website, go ahead and get you some products and then show up again and give her a testimony. And
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, because the word of mouth does, it does amazing things, even though it's a lot of digital now, but it does a lot of things. And definitely do that, you guys. And I definitely enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much.
That's wonderful. So before we go, any final words of wisdom that you can share with the people?
Final words of wisdom. Be yourself. Keep your integrity. Keep your dignity. One thing I know about this business, it's so funny, we were talking about it earlier about when my manager, who managed New Kids on the Block at the time, and he managed Mark Wahlberg at the time when he was Marky Mark, and some other artists, we were driving back to his house to Jersey, and my mom says, well, she's not going to be selling sex. She's not going to be that kind of artist. Mm-hmm. And the terrible thing he said was, well, she's not going to have a career. And how awful, right? But, it was funny because the person was saying, oh, but look, that's so good. I was like, well, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers of the ones that are selling sex compared to mine. Like, can I get 5? Can I just get 5? I mean, they got 5,000, in one shot. Can I get 5 people? And what I'm saying is, don't sell yourself to be popular. I understand the things that come with popularity, believe me. And I understand that feeling to want to be popular, but I'm just like, don't sell yourself for it, because there's so much of life worth more than selling yourself to be popular. And that's what I stick with. And that's why I say, like, be yourself, be who you are, learn who you are and be that. And feel good about that, because there's a lot in this world that's constantly telling you, you're not enough, but you are enough. You are enough to be yourself and to love who you are. And that's my words of wisdom.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love it all. And that is an amazing way to close out tonight. And thank you so much for being here. I love every bit of this conversation tonight. And you're so welcome. And everybody, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Whether you're watching live or you're catching the replay, it's always going to be out there. Definitely make sure you go to Raquel's website. It's on the screen.
Yeah.
Connect with her on social media. Everything's there. And then I already put the other website for the Sip and Nip. So if you're in Florida, get to it Saturday, 4:00. Come on down. Make sure you register first.
Yes.
And then and definitely go check out her luxury exclusive.
NV Luxury Exclusive. That's the letter N, the letter V, Luxury Exclusive.
Yes. Check that out too, you guys. Go buy some of those products and shout her out. So you guys, thank you again. Make sure you like, follow, and share all of our platforms. Good night, everybody. And remember to command your day and be great in everything you do. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.